and welcome to The Table, episode 8.
This is his top.
Oh my God.
This is it. What was that?
I have a big sound.
Okay. So we are on episode 8.
We're on episode 8.
I feel like I have to clarify something that just kind of hit my ear wrong. I said in one of the episodes, I was like, as the gays say, under 8, we don't date. Did you take that to mean inches or years old?
I took that as inches.
Thank God. Okay, I really worried that it may be read as years old, and I got a little nervous.
Well, did we get some listener feedback?
We got a lot of hate. I mean, I did in my inbox.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a lot of backlash.
Yeah, you joined Carly in the cancellation, and it was so nice to know you.
Can I say, okay, here's the thing with the Carly episode that so many people have watched, and thank you so much to everyone who's watched it and liked it. I feel like we made it because we have dislikes.
We do?
We have dislikes, and I truly love that. Because you will watch the most fucking wholesome video of someone rescuing some gimp-legged horse from a fucking barn on fire, and there will be 5 people who are just thumbs down.
Yeah, it is pretty dark stuff. Just someone making chocolate, not even a person, you just see the chocolate. It's no, terrible. I'm like, who in the depths of their soul
create a reaction? You know what I mean?
Although I remember being a young girl and, therapy wasn't put on the table. I was still absorbing the trauma.
Great,
and
yeah.
I remember this girl on the bus was like,
I like everyone. Everyone's my friend.
And I was like,
not me.
like a psychopath. And she was like, what? And I was like,
I don't like you. What are you going to do about it?
Because I just couldn't handle how nice. She was just so nice,
Again, my little ass would have been like,
to me.
Let's talk.
So you agree? What? You think you're really pretty?
Yeah, I think it's best that we found each other when we did.
When we've done some work on ourselves.
Because the world domination that would have occurred would have been sinful. Because
I think, I know you love to cast me as the villain, that I'm I'm just this fucking little
cum demon.
But you are a nasty bitch.
I am.
And
mention it all.
I need to tell you something. I have had, honestly, I've been dying to basically unburden myself by burdening you.
Oh, please.
I have had the craziest week / I also very much want to get into, I went to LA.
Yeah, we have to talk about that.
Fuck, soundboard. Dropped Q.
No.
Dropped Q.
No, I'll get some stuff. We'll go back. We'll do it one more time. Okay.
512, dropped Q from Stacey.
Jane, please. Do you want to try this again?
No, I think we got it.
Where did you go?
LA. Oh, no.
Okay, well, we'll try.
What is that fucking Chicago, the band?
AKA Poo Poo.
I knew you'd hate it. That's really funny. Okay, well, we'll play around. I'll find you something. I'll find you something that you like.
Okay.
It's an explosion. We'll cut that one out.
Oh my God.
Okay, so you went to LA.
I know. Now, okay, I need to definitely know what's on the board so that I can start to try to plant. Okay. I'll be oh my God, I had a literal ass explosion. That was meant to be the explosion.
I know what you wanted, but in my mind, I thought that was going to be so funny. I also love.
I hate you. Oh, I love that. Okay. I'm sorry to everyone.
I'm not. I had to download those.
Okay. So
let's talk LA.
Let's talk LA. I met my twin flame.
I want to know about this.
In a 60-year-old woman named Diane. There we go.
Yeah.
So I just need to give you like a couple of moments.
Okay.
Diane was like a family friend of my friends getting married, and she was hosting the rehearsal dinner.
Beautiful.
The invitation for the rehearsal dinner, first of all, was like beyond heavy.
Oh, a heavy card.
A heavy card. Like I was like, went to put it on the fridge and it just went, no.
Also, our broke ass being like, I got to save this. Put it on the fridge. It's beautiful. The card stock.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. Every little tiny thing she gave me, I was like, I need to keep this forever. Like I'm like putting it in like a fucking Beanie Baby box. Like just to like.
These are going to be worth so much.
The resale value.
Help me, I'm poor.
You met your twin flame and she gave you some very thick card stock.
Gave me thick cardstock. Immediately I got very anxious because I had to RSVP to her directly. So I Googled formal
email response.
How to send an email.
How to talk rich to the rich so they think you are rich.
And I'm like, but then like a formal response is like, I graciously accept your invitation. Like it's like so boring.
Right. So.
And I said, not for me. And I started to write. And then I had a hard time stopping. So then I was like, I was going on about like, through, though I have not met the man of honor, through the wonders of technology, I've been able to, it went.
Patrick.
I know.
So did you find it hard attaching your headshot at the end as well? Did you digitally sign it on DocHub?
It was like here up in Canada.
Yikes. You've already, yeah.
You don't know what I deal with every night.
So, and the response I got back was, thank you so much. Thank you for your enthusiastic reply.
Oh, no. That's not good.
Yeah.
Enthusiastic reply?
Because I would not go back for my own soul. I couldn't go back and count how many exclamation points I used.
I can't judge you on that. I use way too many.
So I felt like I was coming in at a potential deficit. Mm-hmm. And we go to this woman's house who's hosting the rehearsal dinner. And it is gorgeous. Like beyond. And she looks stunning.
Of course.
Right away, I catch a vibe.
Was she yelling at someone that she didn't like them? You're too nice.
I catch a Meghan Markle glint, and she comes over to me and like a few other people, and then was basically like,
not to play favorites, but I particularly enjoyed Patrick's emails.
And I was like, I just like push everyone in the pool, and I'm like, I live here now.
Whoa. So, I can tell why you wanted the ring light before you started telling the story.
This is my ascendance. Like,
wow.
So this is a moment that I need you to carry with you the way that I will for the rest of my life.
What?
So Diane comes up to me and like so kindly was like,
Patrick, just so you know, I do have a non-alcoholic beer that I can get you.
And I was like, that's so nice. Like, aw, like, love that. And I'm like, sure. Like that, thank you. And then she goes,
Come with me.
I'm like, okay. We walk up to the bartender and she goes,
Can you fire up one of those non-alcoholic IPAs for my friend Patrick here?
Fire up?
fire up.
I think we found the title of the podcast.
And this woman says, the bartender, did you want it in a can or a glass? And Diane says,
Look at my house.
She didn't say this.
It'll be a glass.
that's the sound of that woman shooting herself in the face. Because that was the only option. I would be like, like,
Okay, like as the story, like hearing it as, you know, the protagonist telling me the story, it's amazing. If I was that bartender, I would have gotten into my broken down Honda Civic and I would have driven off the cliff.
yes. It would have been like, I can't come back from this. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.
I'd like to talk about your mime work quickly. You taking off what I believe to be the magnet name tag.
Yeah.
And I'm done here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh my
Do you have
God.
notes?
Do I?
It sounds like it told the story if you were able to guess. I hate you. No. This monster. Oh, okay. That feels more fitting.
Yeah, you're just like on the beach and everything is like going great. And then you're just like, it's Hanlon's time.
Oh, yeah. That is definitely the sound effect. That's the sound effect I hear when I have an evil idea. But like the world hears like me. And I'm like, mention it.
This is a case for the FBI.
Okay, so she says, look at my house.
Look at my house.
It'll be a glass. And you, did you even bat an eye?
No, because here's the thing. I knew not to answer that question. Because look, some of you fucking, you fucking plebes who do not know how to rise.
Plebes who don't know how to write. Go on.
Would say, oh yeah, oh the can, no, it's fine.
That's exactly how I would have
you.
sounded. No, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
And I knew Diane's got this one.
Diane will set
Diane
the
will
tone.
take this one. And then I was like, and I'm like, that bartender looked at me. I was like, I can't help you.
Save yourself.
There's no ally here.
I don't even see you, plebe. Wow. So there you were sucking back your non-alcoholic IPA beer poured into what I can only assume is a thin, tall glass.
Yeah.
Weighted bottom.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then did you go arm in arm into the gardens and
So then she would just kind of like check in with me every once in a while. So she came over at one point and she did this thing where like, if this is my arm, she gripped it with the tops of her fingers. Like she went like that. And then she went,
I like you.
what were you saying?
I don't know. I truly like, I mean, I did make a toast. So maybe that was also part of it.
Impromptu or were you asked?
Oh, no, I was asked. It was planned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful with your words. I'm sure a bit funny, a bit sassy, a bit like, I'm one of you. Don't even try and come for me.
Mm-hmm. A little self-deprecating, but not too much to make it seem as though I do not belong.
That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be a bit self-deprecating where like you don't care how rich you are. Like, isn't this a bit of a joke? But I'm still very rich. Yeah. Okay.
Because I feel like you'd kind of be like, I'm a bag of trash. And then they'd be like, can we give her the pen?
So you have seen The Lonely Mom.
The I'm a bag of trash monologue at the end, really.
You know, it's not that I don't love my kids. It's just that they've taken everything I have.
Sometimes when I walk down the driveway of my duplex, I bring the garbage bag to the end of the street and I think, this is me.
I'm trash. Look at my house. It'll always be in a
Shared.
can. So you do the speech, everyone clinks their champagne flutes, and then you get a mountain grasp, a hilltop grasp, and
Yeah.
she's like, I like you.
I like you. And then she goes,
I can't stand one of these party planners.
She knew.
And I
You
was-
find these women.
and she goes, you tell me what you think. And I'm like, uh-huh. And she's like,
This man comes into my house for the first time and opens my fridge.
Which one of the fridges, I'm assuming?
and I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, yeah, this is a little comfortable. Like, it's a little too.
I would never, like, even if I was in your home, I would be like, if you're like, do you get something? I'd be like, from the fridge? What do you mean?
The floor in front of it is just littered with the things I tried to magnet onto it.
Yeah, like so much like gold embossed invitations from like 2000s. I cannot speak right now. 2017.
Sault Ste. Marie.
That one was way too loud. Anyways, so then was there a point in the night when you guys like sat together and like really collectively unpacked this like fridge stealing party planner?
Yeah, well, she just said, she was like, I was like, yeah, that's a little comfortable. And then she just goes,
I've never been a rummager. Have you ever been a rummager?
Did she really say that?
yes,
Have you ever been a rummager?
a rummager.
How'd you tell her yes while also saying no?
I said no, because that's true. It is true. I don't rummage.
But like, what do you mean by you don't rummage? Like you don't go through people's things?
Like if even at like a young age, if it was like, there's a diary, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to read that. That's like an invasion of someone's privacy. I'm not going to
Yeah.
like open the mirror and see what pills are in there. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna, if it's an Airbnb, I'm not like opening drawers and like taking things out.
Yeah. I mean, with the Airbnb thing, it's only because it's like once you see that a human lives there, it's like very weird. You're like, why am I here? But yeah, even as a babysitter, I really was nervous to go into the fridge. Okay. Are you a rummager? Damn. These are like bone chilling moments of will you be the plebe or will you rise?
Yeah. And the last thing that like, so she looks over, there's like a couple of seats, like she's parked herself beside me. And there are a few people who people are now kind of mingling. It's after the dinner
The
service.
dinner, which was served buffet style or
No, we sent in our choices.
what'd you get?
The steak.
We love. Okay. The steak. Okay. So dinner's done. The dessert
And
has
I
been
can't
passed.
even believe the restraint I showed on the appetizer. Not appetizers. That's too déclassé. It would be like the hors d'oeuvres.
The hors d'oeuvres. Yeah. Well, was anyone, it's like Los Angeles and like not to be that person, but you know, like I felt like I was in LA, you know, labeled an eater, you know, they knew that like, yeah.
Yeah. There is the thing is like, unfortunately, there is just like a male, like there's a different standard for men where it's like,
Yes.
it's like an eater. It's like, oh, nice. I don't know.
Ew, that voice is tough. Oh, nice.
Another one? Yeah.
Ew.
Where's the quesadillas?
AKA poo poo. So then how did the night proceed with her, with your new twin flame?
At one point she like peeped over. She saw that someone's like a little bit of their like salsa had fallen from their plate onto their plate setting, which again, truly gift of God that it wasn't mine. I can really decimate what's like, they remove the plate and there's a war zone of fallen soldiers.
Of course, I mean, I heard salsa and I'm like, well, that's just getting on my couch. You know, it doesn't matter where I'm eating it. You know, that salsa will follow. Yeah.
And she's like, she zeroes in on the little bits of tomato and she starts picking them and throwing them behind her. And she's like,
Who made this mess?
and she looks to me to answer.
Did you say?
So I decided to say this, which was a bit of a risk. I went, Diane, you literally made the place settings. Like you can see who it is. And she goes, and she goes,
And you don't name names.
Ew. I love it. I feel like this is an episode of like White Lotus, like at the end, like who's in the casket, you know? It's you and
yes.
like you and Diane would have such a storyline.
Yeah. And because it was a rehearsal dinner, like the out of town guests, so that was me, like that's how I got invited. So the bridal party got their like bridal gifts, but because she's so fucking classy, she like, I got a gift too. She gave me like a different gift, but she gave me this candle.
We have to see. Those are like, are you going to light it? Because you were like, I'm never going to. ASMR. Those are really nice candles. Like that's what like influencers on YouTube have like in the back burning while they talk about like an Armani foundation.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's stunning. Do you feel different now? How did it feel?
It was hard coming back.
I can imagine.
It was when I realized that my flight home had a layover, I thought,
you know, the flight home always humbles you in some way. Like if you come off of a high, you know, yeah, you're going to get a layover. You're going to be reminded that you're a plebe, you know. You're going to like the Uber home. The driver's going to be like, hey, I'm going to stop off at McDonald's before I drop you off. You're in, right? I
figured you'd want something. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew I could tell you about what I need because I don't think you'll be bothered. Yeah.
So there definitely was an adjustment period.
Of course.
Back. But I hold space for more time in the future. Hopefully this was just the groundwork.
Well, I just want to say that like I did see you thriving in Los Angeles. You looked amazing. You looked very shishi wee wee. You did find yourself at Tom Tom with Tom Sandoval.
I did.
So how was that? How was he?
Okay.
Hollywood. Oh, Barbara, please. Who's calling your laptop?
Barbara, please. Barbara, please. The way I want to kill people when that happens, and I'm like, I'm fucking recording as if they know.
Recording with me with 2 workers on ladders currently.
And I'm sorry, but I have some toxic fucking gay people in my life who call twice in a row. And that needs to stop.
I have done that.
Stop.
But if I needed to really tell you something, I'd be like, oh, he probably just didn't get to the phone in time. Let me give it one more rodeo. I'm sorry. Okay. That's fair. So, but how was Tom Sandoval? Tell me everything.
We had a very brief interaction. He said he liked my shirt.
Oh, sure.
Oh, he punched me in the dick. Yeah.
Okay, wait. What did he say to you about your shirt?
He was like, cool shirt, man. It feels. Diane would never.
Okay, I'm going to get better at it.
Yeah, it was exciting. We like went to Tom Tom. It was one of my last nights there. You're kind of like, oh, I hope I see someone. Like,
But like, did you go up to him just to be like, hey, I love the show and this bar is great? Or was he like going up to everyone like, you probably want to put like a photo with me?
I went to the bathroom and I saw Tom Sandoval like almost doing like a shift meeting or something, like talking.
Like they really work there?
But like, don't you see that like he would be like also somehow the GM?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So he was like talking with some of the bartenders and I was like, so as I was peeing, I was like texting everyone at the table being like, he's here.
Right.
So then we went to like wait for the picture. And he was like talking to a table, but then like talking to them for so long. Like he like brought their drinks over and was like socializing. So I was like, oh, maybe he's going to like bop around and talk to everyone.
Right.
But it was just them. Finally finished. We asked for the picture. He said my shirt looked cool. I think he was like, he took two and then he was like, oh, and then he like put on the flash. And he took it. He was like, I'll do it. Like I've got this.
Well, that would make sense. I'm sure he gets asked all the time and it's like he can control it. Boom, that's what you want. Instead of like, how do you do this? What's the password?
Yeah. And the one with the flash didn't look that good, so I think we were right.
Wow. So like how do you approach someone and ask for a photo?
Well, okay, and the funny thing is that and I was with Brienne, who was, friend of the pod. And Netflix star, so she got recognized.
Oh,
and
okay.
The person decided to say this, I need to get a picture with you. Or no, sorry, I'm getting a picture with you.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's not a question. Like,
so that's what you said to Tom?
No, I was like,
oh,
no, sorry. This is a separate thing where I was just like, that's not how you ask someone for something. Obviously, totally. Brian was like so nice and didn't say anything, but I was like, noted.
Rummager.
Plebe. Yeah. It'll be a glass. Look at my house. So I think I just said like, hey, like, big fan, like, I don't know, like,
how's Ariana? Can we get a picture?
Can I bug you for a photo?
Nice. It was really nice to see.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, of course. Cool shirt. And then I think
you keep bringing up that he said that. Wasn't it just like a white shirt?
No. No.
Oh, I love it so much. Insert the photo now. We're back.
Look at the material.
And look at the material.
Look at the material.
Well, I'm so jealous that you had such a great time and you got all the all these experiences. I was just here sweating my full ass off, not really living the best life, the best LA life. But we're happy to have you back. And
thank you.
To see you at the F45 has just been really a blessing.
It's, yeah, I mean, definitely the switch of like being on vacation to, and I love my like day job where I work very much like at a shelter.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, like then I, my week back, I spent 2 hours watching someone snort fentanyl and making sure that they didn't forget to breathe.
So it's different.
It's different. And I will say, I don't know if I'm just like kind of a chameleon, but I'm like, the way that I can fit in with both groups, like, I don't know if it's some talented Mr. Ripley fucking dissociative disorder.
No, I think that you're a layered person, and I think that you would get sick of one or the other. You know what I mean? Like you need substance to your life. You need things to do, and you know what I mean? Like you just can't bip bop around with IPA in a glass, you know? You know.
I can also yes and the guy who's telling me that he killed someone in Nicaragua when he was 16, and I'm like, totally. And then we have a guy who's like, I got fully hit on by, honestly, like a really hot guy staying in the shelter. And I was like,
boundaries.
I did not. This is not a Hanlon's. I keep my slurpy derp for where it is appropriate. But it was wild. Like he had, first of all, opened the door shirtless, giving body.
I just need someone to describe that about me at least once in my life. She opened the door topless, giving me body. Oh, okay, go on.
And it was, Stacey, it was like a fucking very niche porn. Like,
okay, a niche porn. Okay, continue.
Because it was me and my coworker, and he was like, do you always do stuff like in pairs, or do you think I could maybe talk to Patrick just like one-on-one, like just like man-to-man, like just like get some things?
I get what you're saying now. Like you and your coworker with him would be like a very niche porn. I just thought he looked as if he was a very niche porn actor. And
No.
Wow, what a call. Okay.
The setup of like, if the beginning of the porn was a shelter during a homeless shelter during a pandemic.
No, and this can't be. We can't even manifest.
Like
this.
it's a weird, like it's like the weird like pizza delivery, but like I'm in full PPE. And he's like talking about some of his like housing struggles. It's like, yeah, niche.
Patrick, no.
It's niche.
The network says no.
Mention it all. Mention it all. It's the reality. You can't just censor the realities that this city is facing.
No, you're absolutely right. And you do amazing work, and I'm so proud of you.
But yeah, he was kind of doing a bit of like, I don't really belong here work. Like, and I was like, okay. And so he's like, he basically tells my coworker to fuck off. He's like, can I just talk to Patrick one-on-one? Like, just like man-to-man, like just a couple things I want to like just share, like dude stuff, vibes. And she's like, okay. So she leaves. And then he starts being like, he's like, yeah, like I'm having problems with my ex-girlfriend. And like, I don't know, like sometimes like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, sometimes like to just hang out with guys. Like sometimes, I don't know, like a guy, I don't know, it's like I can be more comfortable, like, you know, with a man. And I don't know how you feel about that. And I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Like, again, boundaries, but like
boundaries.
If this man was in the bushes, fully a surprise. In this context, full professional. Boundaries.
Of course.
But like, he literally asked me if I wanted to come in for a drink, and I'm like, I brought you that. Like, and I was like, it'll be a glass.
I'll have one drink, but I'm not happy with the party planner here.
And I promise I won't look around. I've never been a rummager.
Yes. Do you rummage? Ever?
Yeah.
Why?
And then he used our like kind of safe injection room with us to like, you know, do his fentanyl, and would kind of like, and then like alternate between just like, you know, feeling the vibe, and then like truly like winking at me. He did like some push-ups, and like,
and you have to be in the room and just watch someone do that
with a coworker present. And I'm just trying to be like, I'm trying to make it very clear that I am not like yes-anding this behavior.
Of course.
Like,
of
I'm not going to make it
course.
weird and be like, and
Of course. That's a very tricky situation.
because I don't want him to be like, oh, Patrick, the one, oh yeah, he'd be like, oh, look, he'd like show me his phone. It'd be like a shirtless picture of him. And he's like, oh, it's a little bit bigger then. I was like waiting for the dick. Like, I thought he might show the dick. And
Oh no.
I was just like, I mean, my iCloud's on. Like, it's like,
Let's get it. We should talk about the table.
oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot that's what we do here.
Well, we were also just catching up.
I do know my table, but
Okay, let's get in.
I think we need to start with yours. I'm so sorry.
Why?
I've talked for a million years.
But we needed to know the information.
Okay.
I just feel like while you're on a roll, I want to know, based on the vibe of your life currently, who the fuck's at your table this week?
Okay.
Go on.
Seat 1,
I'm already upset. Go on.
Diane.
Diane. I mean, of course. Just of course. Let me get the right thing. Diane. Of course. I mean, now Diane's going to bring a vibe, I think, really commanding. Like, we're all going to have to be on our best behavior. And I will have an instinct to lie the second I get there to the second I leave. And then wolf down a pizza when I get home.
I think Diane values transparency. I think she would see through that, but you're right. I think there was definitely I had a thing of like, I know I can ruin this. Like, a single interaction I can really like step in it.
100%. 100%. But
yeah.
we love that she's there. I'm excited to be there with her. What does that tablescape look like? What is the settings? How many
I'm
forks?
obviously sitting beside her.
Yes, and I would demand
as
that.
far, yeah.
And I'm as far where? Fine, I won't wear an Old Navy dress. Like, I'll come correct if that's what you're trying to say. Then fine.
Okay. Seat 2 beside Diane. Sutton Strack.
Wow. I feel like them together, and I don't know Diane, but I feel like that would be the thing. Yeah. Sutton is having a full-blown spiral this season.
But I don't know if you've seen the most recent one, but no. Sutton is now starting to like Sutton is giving us so many layers of like, first there was just like unraveling, and now she's becoming kind of commanding on like a search for the truth that I'm loving this energy. Like I don't know. It's just like,
that's nice to see, because this season's been hard in that she's been like she's just been so fragile, like very like just at any point just crumbling. And I'm like, Sutton, where's like season 1 Sutton? We need it. We need some of it.
So, yeah. So, we're seeing a bit more of that, I think.
Okay.
And then I want luxury with, so my third guest is Priyanka Chopra / Jonas.
Mm-hmm.
To give us, like, she is worldly, like has gone from like beauty pageant to Bollywood to network to Jonas. And I just believe like any big, beautiful Bollywood star would have so many rich friends.
This is just you building your army, okay? And like, I like Priyanka. I feel like this dinner is chic. And like, if we are not wearing like an inch of Dior or Chanel or Balenciaga, like we really would have to have a label. Not that they would demand it, but, or like.
You couldn't even wear Balenciaga. That would be like, it would be too alt. Like if you showed up in that fucking double t-shirt shirt.
Oh, yes. I see what you're saying with that. Maybe like, I feel
Chanel.
like,
It's Chanel.
what about like the row? Because, you know, like the Olsen collection,
no, I know.
only because it's like expensive, like neutral, like, so it's like you're rich, but like you're not, you don't have to flaunt.
Yeah.
An
Okay.
option.
I mean, honestly, I can see that for you.
Thank you.
I think that would be a good
Wait,
flex on
when
your
you
part.
say that, you're thinking I'm a plain Jane?
No.
Plain Jane, Mary Jane?
No. I think if you put on Chanel,
Go on.
it would look like a bit.
Oh, little Stacey's putting on her mommy shoes. Click clacking around the kitchen.
Like it's like, this is a costume part?
Did you sit on something and someone gave you that? The only thing about Priyanka that I would want to talk to her about is like, I don't believe, like, the marriage to me seems wild. I don't buy it. It was like, you know, there's something about her being married to Nick Jonas that like doesn't make sense to me.
It is weird, but
It's
I don't know.
weird. Like it's weird.
I
And
don't see
know
it,
why.
but I don't know them. I don't know. You're so skeptical. Like
You're a rummager.
you are. I've always thought of myself as like an empath for the rich and famous, and you're always like, I don't know, publicity.
You are so horny to be rich that you'll do anything to get there. Where I'm like, I want it to sustain. So I'll pick and choose.
Yeah.
No, I don't know about that. Like, I think it's just the Jonases in general. Like, I don't like get the vibe. Like the Jonas with Sophie Turner, I get. There's something about it I get.
And then who's the other one? Fucking Michael Jonas or whatever.
His name's Kevin. What's his fucking name?
That
Michael?
fucking weirdo. Yeah.
He had a reality show and I watched it. And you should watch it because it's so hilarious. Like he would just like tell his wife, like I want a baby. Like I want to put a baby in you. Like he was just obsessed with having kids. And then he like was working.
The gayest?
He just was like, he was just very like emotional and it just had this weird vibe to it. And he was just like really obsessed about having a baby. And his wife was very clearly like not ready. Allegedly. Like just the vibe of it was tense. Now they're like have a bunch of kids and it's all great. But it's like, you know, making that first decision is huge. And I think she was like a bit slower to the, well, because you know the idea.
He is kind of like the weird, freaky youth pastor of the group.
Yes.
Like,
well, when they all wore like the purity rings and then like,
yeah, I feel like that was his idea.
Joe bros, get over here.
Yeah. Michael,
please. But Joe and Sophie, I buy and I believe and I love the vibe. And I'm like very much into their very young, youthful, you know, life.
Yeah, I think for my table, there's the sophistication, but I think once we all establish safely at the beginning that we like know which fork to use, then we can start to like unpack. We can start to like be like cheeky,
I think this table is nice.
sneaky.
I think it would be really good. I think it would be like surprising.
Yes.
I feel like Sutton would maybe level it out because she's like a good old Southern girl, and we would have some levels to it, which I think would be nice.
Yeah, and yeah. So
and the gift bag would be lovely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a good table this week.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, so who is at mine this week? Okay, so this has been an interesting table because I was really struggling. I've been really struggling to choose my table this week.
Okay.
Because, and then I was upset that I chose Lisa Rinna last time because I just watched her on Watch What Happens and it was exceptional. Did you see?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't?
Because I want to watch the episode first.
Oh. Yeah, it is so good. She's dressed up in like this lime green suit and just like is like, I don't think Erica Jane knew anything. And I was like, I love that. Like she's just like so strategic. And then like they were coming at her about Garcelle. And she was like, they're like, what do you think about like Denise or like Garcelle saying Denise would come back if someone else left? And she goes, I posted it on my Instagram. And she's like, and I was like, I just love you weekly. But alas, Lisa Rinna cannot be there every day. Okay, so the first one's going to seem a little strange, but I do love a good old Southern girl. And I'm going to have Miley Cyrus at my table this week.
Love. Yep.
She's been doing a bunch of interviews and like, I just find her so freaking captivating to me. She's lived a life. Like, you know, I feel like she's just in this point of her life where she like doesn't give a shit. And I find that just a guiding light. And she's confident with herself. There's no self-deprecation. Well, there is, but not in a way that's like, you know.
And she loves drag queens and drag race. And like immediately, like that's. Do you remember that thing? It's like, who put the fork in the garbage disposal? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
I told you. And you were like, anyways, can't wait to record.
Stomp. They're like.
I hope they're union. I'd love to audition. So I want Miley Cyrus at my table this week. Yeah. She's incredible. I've just been loving her.
Love her.
And I feel like she has a very similar, like, I don't know her, but like a very similar heart to you and a vibe to you where I feel like she just kind of is a chameleon. And it's like whoever you are and however you present yourself to her, she accepts you or she's like, oh, okay, great. So I just find it, I find her like just so lovely. She had this like, I can't remember what interview it was, but I watched the whole 45 minutes like on YouTube. And I was like, I am obsessed with her.
And her music is so good. Like I really love like when she releases an album, I'm always like, yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And her voice is unbelievable. I'm not saying anything people don't know, but anyway, so Miley Cyrus is at my table this week.
Fab.
Also her like fashion and makeup is truly legendary and it's, you know, but I really love her. Now, who else is at my table this week? Here's a little spin. Heidi Montag. Because she is on a level that I cannot look away from. And I was just like, a Miley and a Heidi Montag would be a wild ride. Spencer Pratt cannot come. I just want Heidi.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Question about it.
What I'm wondering is like, I've watched like a couple of episodes of like The Hills New Beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
And Heidi is kind of finding her new, like she's like, oh, am I like wild? Am I like it's almost like she wants to be the Lisa Rinna. Like she's
trying to be Lisa Rinna. She's like, let's pop the bottle. She's trying to make champagne a thing. Now, hear me out. Yes. I feel like she would need, at this table, a conversation with Patrick. I just want on the record to know that my landlord informed me of none of this. This is just happening to me. They're in my backyard. That means they've walked over my bedroom. They've walked past my bedroom and they're in my property and I have not been informed.
It sounds like just like the Tin Man is just doing somersaults.
Yeah. It's just the universe saying wrap it up. Okay. So I would say that I feel like Miley Cyrus would like maybe help her find a center. Not that she needs one.
That's the thing where I'm like, the fact that cameras wouldn't be rolling, yes. I have a lot more hope for Heidi.
I feel like we would all be supportive. It might turn into like a Heidi.
Like Heidi. Yeah.
But it would be like we're all there and it's like, hey, like you don't need to like be anything you're not, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just find her also so like charming, oddly, and entertaining.
She is oddly charming. I will never forget that scene of her with her mom, and her mom's like, I liked you better before.
Heartbreaking.
And she's just like, and the tear comes out, and she looks like insane, and she had like 50 surgeries in a day.
In one day, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she was like, it was one of those examples of like women just being chewed up and spit out. Like you could just, you know.
Like pretty girl from the suburbs moved to LA, and then LA is like, oh, but you need like you're pretty, but you need to be insane looking.
Yeah.
To fit in here. And then she remember she was like, I want my boobs to be a size H for Heidi.
It was too much. Like, and then like the music video stuff, like I feel like I don't know. I would be curious to like talk to someone who's like who was through that, like through the Hills times, like all that kind of stuff, and is now still searching.
I really need some of that Lauren stuff. Like, all of my favorite memories are with you. My favorite stories are with you. Like, remember
I can forgive and forget. Oh, the birthday. You know what you did.
I forgive you, but I want to forget you.
Yeah. I can forgive and forget. Well, yeah. What was it? I can't remember.
She was like, I feel like
I can
forgive you, and like I need to forget
you. And then like the mascara
tear. What a moment.
Yeah. Now here's the thing.
Number 3.
I'm gonna throw someone here, and I okay. Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, yes. Heidi has to go.
No. Because I feel like that, like she wouldn't fit in ultimately, but I'm just saying, I was catching up on The Hills New Beginnings. I've been reading about Kelly Clarkson's divorce, and her husband's a piece of trash. And I feel like Miley is like, really on the up and up. And I feel like it would be an interesting table. There would be a weird vibe with Heidi, but she would sink or swim.
She'd sink. The thing is, it would be that thing where like everyone's talking about something, and then Heidi would be like, I think. And we'd all just like stop breathing for a minute.
I mean, that is true. I get it. I just thought it would be like a very interesting tabla.
It would be interesting. Sometimes there's nothing that joins people together more than like
the dad,
than a common enemy. And if
the party planner. Heidi's going in the fridge, and we got to talk about it.
Heidi's just spilling the salsa everywhere, and we have to just pick it off and fling it back. Yeah.
Or maybe she like jumps 2 feet into it and like surprises us all and is just the gem of the night.
Well, then I don't want that either.
I'd like to roll the tape earlier in the podcast where you're like, you are pessimistic or you're negative, and I believe. I digress. But that is my table this week. I feel like Kelly Clarkson is like,
I love Kelly Clarkson.
Fucking loser ex-husband who's a loser trying to take her money. These like men.
That's kids' table. Fucking
Brandon,
Joe
whatever
Clarkson,
his name is.
fucking
Michael Jonas.
Fucking Jamie Spears.
Jamie Spears is always at the table, at the kids' table.
Always.
He's out too. He stepped down.
Yeah.
God damn it. So shitty.
So shitty.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's my table this week. Who is anyone specifically at your kids' table this week?
I seriously was like, I need.
If you say COVID, I'm going to be so upset.
Oh my God.
I guess COVID. Really?
I would say the city of Vancouver for my layover.
Having to lay over in Vancouver, the most like beautiful place ever.
Yeah. Okay, but like actually I will put everyone who used to live in Vancouver who lives in Toronto now, and it's always like, oh, I miss the mountains.
Yeah.
It's not a personality. So
You know what? Can I just say, like, I'd like to put something at the kids' table, and that is all Gen Zs who think coffee is a personality, they can all go to the kids' table. What do you do in your free time? I get coffee. That's not a thing. That's not a thing that makes you you. So I don't care about it. I don't care about your iced coffee. I want it hot. I want it hot, and I want it hot in August in a heat wave.
Ew. Your hot coffees at the kids' table. Gross.
No.
Fucking Empire Espresso across the street had to be like, are you going to keep drinking these iced? Like, it is so cold. And I was like, because essentially they were like, we'll have to keep ordering ice. And I said, yes, I will.
Okay.
So,
well, who's at yours?
For real, Jamie Spears, like he just got removed as the conservator. Or he's like stepping down.
Yeah.
And Jamie Spears was my main one. Then I was just like, I didn't end up talking about it. So it's like,
what?
That like, I had a whole other showdown with customs.
We'll have to do a part 2. If you like what you're seeing, just like it.
Yeah. Where I
that's fair.
I had to like stay in like an no, I can't talk about it.
We're on ice. Okay, first of all, we're talking about a fucking candle for 9 hours and you're in isolation holding and you're like, I forgot to bring it out.
Oh my God. Also, it's like, this has just been this smell that's been heading my way. It smells like
Rich. It
smells like an old person's soap who was like, oh, it just smells so nice.
Yeah. Diptyque's really nice.
Oh, I know. I added one to the car because I remember I said to you, I was like, I don't even want to light it. And you were like, Patrick, you can't have a candle that you don't light.
Yeah.
Because you're right. Like that's.
Because there's nothing weirder than going to someone's home and seeing like a very fancy candle on show, but like never burnt.
On ice, yeah.
The candle's on ice and like the top is just a bit dusty. Like you're never going to be able to get in there and clean it. It's like, just light the damn thing.
You are so right. Yeah. I think you would actually do well at my table.
Listen, I like to spend. I like the finer things. I just don't know about them, But like, I was watching this cooking show once and this woman was saying like people hold on to like really expensive olive oils, but like they're meant to be used. They go bad in like 6 months or something. Like they don't have this long shelf life. And I just think about like all the wine that people hold on to. They're like, this is expensive. We have to really save it for a nice moment. It's like, just use it.
Life short by the lips.
Life short by the lips. Love you, Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we really did it. I mean, this was a real, I'm really upset about my table. I've already thought about who I would replace Heidi with. And I should have said, and it would have been another reality star, but it would have been another reality star, but it would have been better.
Heidi was your Bezos.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I like Heidi Montag. I find her like in this area of her life. No, I do too. It wasn't the right connection, but I just thought, like sometimes when you like bring in a wild card, it can be a really interesting time.
I know.
Anyways, but Bezos was like, you knew it was wrong before you said it and when you said it and after you said it. And,
the fact that I feel like at all my tables, you're the wild card.
I cannot even handle this at all. I can't even like... I'm trying to end this podcast. I'm done. I'm done.
Somehow less loud than the work happening in your yard.
And with that, we bid you adieu. If you like this podcast, like and subscribe. Give us a review. Spread the word. And thank you to everyone who comments below and likes and has been very supportive. We see you and we hear you and we love you.
John C. Love you back.
Bye.
Bye.